All right, we got the TikTok live and the YouTube live going right now for the crypto market update. We will be going over a lot of the crypto market update stuff. So just going over the price action of Bitcoin, BNB, Ethereum, XRP, Link, and some of the other comparison relative strength, and looking at the market cap of the alts excluding Bitcoin, which is the total too. So that's what we'll get for today's video. Let's just draw that in right here, and I'm going to wait for a few more minutes here before we get people going on. But that is the video for the day, and then we will do a global macro update a little bit later on. But for now, we're just going to be doing the crypto market update. So let's get our recorder, and I think we are ready for the day here. Recorder. All right, not a crazy amount of stuff today. Pretty regular day for the crypto market. Nothing crazy, so we're just going to treat it as such, although something did happen. Something to touch on, but it's not like it is a pivotal moment in the market as of right now, in my personal opinion. All right, so I think we're ready to go. Hey traders, welcome to another crypto market update. Got a pretty good video for today. Going to be really quick with the on-chain analysis and some news stories, and then we're going to get right into the charts. We did have a pretty quick pump and dump within the Bitcoin market, moving, let's say, like 10%, 7% up, and then moving that same distance right back down, just getting absolutely destroyed by the sellers. But we will be looking at that in a little bit. First thing we're going to be looking at is just going to be the total hash rate within the Bitcoin network. This represents the amount of difficulty that it takes to actually, or amount of energy and difficulty in order to actually mine Bitcoin. And we can see we are going back up after hitting a low of around the low 90s, and we are gaining some ground to the upside, meaning there are more people joining the network, more people mining, and it does look like that capitulation to some degree of miners where they've left the network has now been complete. To some degree, the inefficient miners are leaving the network within this downslope, and then when the network hash rate goes back up and increases, it means that there are more people mining, more people on the network, more people competing for that same pool of Bitcoin given as a reward for miners. So it is increasing, meaning more people are joining the network after that long drawn out period where there's a lot of miners who have left. So just something to note. We also have the next difficulty adjustment for Bitcoin in just over 2 days here. It does look like we are going to decrease the difficulty. It does happen every 2 weeks, so it's going to happen in around 2 days. So that's just something to keep note of. All right, the first topic of the day is going to be looking at the crypto market, looking at how cryptos can save millennials from the economy that failed them. A little bit misleading, but it's basically providing analysis as to how the millennials and Gen Z generation basically got screwed over, and how cryptocurrencies is able to provide an opportunity that most older generation individuals are not really tuned to or do not really want to get involved with. So the demographic megatrend. So this online poll was conducted in April 2019. So obviously a year ago, a little over a year ago. So you do have to think about what's been happening since this point. We can see the Bitcoin familiarity is, as a percentage, strongly or somewhat agree. And we can see in spring of 2019, the age between 18 and 37 has gone significantly higher in terms of the familiarity. I can't even fucking say that word. Familiarity. Anyways, people are more familiar with Bitcoin. At the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to say here. 59% of millennials have a positive view of Bitcoin as a fintech innovation. And we can see Bitcoin as a positive innovation in financial technology. Overall, we are seeing an increase, so people are interested in Bitcoin and blockchain technology. And we can see this is a pretty interesting chart here. Diffusion of innovations. Everett Rogers' diffusion of innovations theory depicts how new innovations are adopted. So, Consumers adopting new technology. We see that there is a peak, late majority, around 34% of people who are using the technology to some degree, I guess, is the peak of the adoption rate. And then we see the market share only goes up. Got the last little tab here. Charles Schwab's Q4 2019 data. BlockFi found that publicly listed Grayscale Bitcoin investment trusts were among the largest stock holdings for millennials, behind only Amazon, Apple, Tesla, and Facebook. This, in my opinion, was a little bit surprising. We see Gen Z not have any real data. Millennials, the number one stock that people are picking is Amazon at 7.9, Apple's next, Tesla, Facebook, and then Grayscale is the Bitcoin investment trust at 1.8 in front of Berkshire Hathaway, Netflix, Microsoft, Alibaba. So it's up there. So people are definitely taking equity stake in the cryptocurrency sector, gaining exposure to Bitcoin's price appreciation. And we see Gen Z not on the list. We see Apple, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, or Microsoft, Tesla, Google, Netflix, Alibaba. So you see older generations aren't as interested in Bitcoin. That totally makes sense. Last thing we're going to be looking at is this guy right here. Bitcoin will save us. This is taken in the riots that have been kind of all over America. And we can see cryptocurrency's role in recent protests across the globe. Cryptos continue to be a topic discussed amid the protests that have been taking place in recent years around the world. Cointelegraph reported in 2019 that the pro-democracy and anti-government protest movement in Hong Kong spurred wider adoption for cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. In Latin America, cryptocurrencies played a role in protests that occurred in the last quarter of 2019 in Chile, Colombia, Venezuela, Argentina, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Peru. So, obviously, it's not a direct positive correlation, but there are some positives in the cryptocurrency sector involving protests to some degree, but obviously protests are generally widely accepted as a negative thing overall. Riots, looting, that's negative, but protests I completely agree with. I do think that it is a really positive thing, standing up for what you believe in, but yeah, the looting and rioting is a little bit crazy in my opinion. All right, so let's now go to the price action of Bitcoin. Also, if you do have any questions within the TikTok live or YouTube live, just drop them in the comment section below and we'll be sure to answer any of them if you would like. So let's just talk about what's happened since the last crypto market update. Just got to get my snip and then we'll continue on with the video here. So we know that there's a major level of resistance here. Very, very, very strong level of sell pressure here. We know that for a fact. We did get a break above our ascending zone, but we do have to consider that when we are drawing our descending zone, sorry, not ascending, descending zone, we did have that big section of wicks near the summer of 2019. We have to consider that because if we wanted, we could draw a trend line that is from here that goes to here, and we haven't broken the triangle yet. So, in my opinion, I do think it is a breakout, and this is a pullback validating the previous resistance as a new level of support, but we have to be careful. We haven't broken this wick to the upside yet. It is still considered to be in the triangle. We hit 10K, we got rejected extremely aggressively by the sellers, absolutely dumped it back down. That, in my opinion, definitely signifies that there are sellers in the market, but that doesn't mean we won't get a bull run commencing pretty soon here. I'm still under the impression that the Bitcoin bulls have significant control of the market. Significant control of the market. We saw since March of 2020, it's been in a bull run. It truly has been. Yes, it's in between these resistance and support zones. Yes, it is descending. So theoretically, we're still making lower highs. But at the end of the day, it's been so bullish since March of 2020 that I'm expecting it to break to the upside. And the way I'm viewing the market, let's just go back here because I think this is a really good way of seeing how the market's currently reacting and what I currently think of in the market. So let's just take a picture. So as long as the price holds above this zone around 93.50, I think this is a retest. This is just an aggressive pullback for the continuation to the upside. I'm not saying that this is going to be a bull run that takes it all the way to the all-time high and then beyond. But I do think that as long as this holds this level of support, I am expecting more price appreciation for Bitcoin. And if that is the case, this major triangle has fully broken out. And yes, that would indicate to me that we are now commencing the Bitcoin bull run that people have been talking about, hitting the all-time high, breaking the all-time high, serious buy pressure coming into the market. This could be the start of that famous bull run that everyone's talking about that's going to be like 2017. That is theoretically what we are looking for. And if it continues to go up like this, I think that could commence the biggest bull run that we've seen since 2017. Obviously, that's a pretty big claim, but that's all if we are able to hold this level of support, consolidate like here, and then move up. So that key level is going to be something that I am going to be looking at. So that's option number one. That, in my opinion, is the highest probability situation that we have within the price action of Bitcoin. I am long Bitcoin. I am long bias Bitcoin. I am not short bias Bitcoin right now. I'm looking to buy Bitcoin, long Bitcoin, and gain exposure to the upside. So if Bitcoin goes up in price, I'm making money. That is where I want to position myself. So that's my first priority. And let's discuss the other option, the alternative, if it does break to the downside. The main zone that I want to see break, if we are going to get any sort of sell bias, is this ascending zone. Because right now, we were holding this squeeze right here. We were breaking and holding from resistance to support, and it broke to the upside, breaking the resistance. So now, in my opinion, this structure is now broken up, and we're now in a bullish trend. This is the retest validating the previous resistances as a new level of support before making the next leg up. That's the way I'm looking at the market. The only time I'd ever want to be looking, not even to short, but to not long, would be to break this ascending level of support. If it breaks this ascending level of support, we do have to reconsider our thesis. Potentially, we're going to get some sell pressure to push the price back down. We don't exactly know, but that is the point where I'm going to be hesitant to enter long. I'm going to be hesitant to hold my long positions, because I think if we do break this ascending support line, kind of like we saw here, where we saw a support hold, if it breaks down below it, a nice continuation pattern could emerge somewhere around here, and that would be a very bearish situation that we find ourselves in. So we don't want to be looking for long exposure if it breaks this ascending zone, but as long as it's holding above it, I'm very bullish on the price action of Bitcoin. So that's basically my thesis for the market right now. Let's just look at the 12-hour, zoom in a little bit, but we can see that overall there's not a whole lot to talk about, because on the large time frame, it kind of gives you an understanding of which way we're going anyways. And this is currently what we see on the 1-hour time frame. We got a massive move to the upside. This was a potential head and shoulders that broke after this candle. That was pretty bullish, and once it broke above that high there, then we just saw an absolute moon shoot the price up to over 10K. We did get a little bit of a ascending trend line right here. I don't really consider this any trade. Like, this isn't really a setup. Like, if you're looking to short right there, you're rarely going to get this move, in my personal opinion. This is just something that I kind of call it a Bart Simpson. That's what we have on our Discord. But in my personal belief, that's not really a setup that I would like to trade. I don't have any desire to trade something like that. Like, I don't want to put a limit order right there. I'd rather give me an initial spike and a pullback, and then once it holds, to me, it's like, okay, there was a buyer that came into the market, pushed the price significantly higher, and then this was the panic sellers, because we can see there's more transactional volume that took place on the way up than on the way down. This is a lot of selling. This is very fearful. And there's a long wick here indicating that buyers were able to push the price back up above the $94-ish $100 level of support. So overall, it doesn't look too bad. It definitely seems like there are buyers at this zone, and that's the way I'm going to be viewing the market. I'm going to be viewing the market as a potential pullback on a bullish move to the upside, breaking the resistance, and now this is coming back and testing the previous resistance as a new level of support. That is what I'm viewing the market as. That's how I am seeing the market, and until I get wrong, basically, breaking the $9,300 zone and holding, I'm going to keep my bias for longs in the cryptocurrency market. Not really going to go on alts today. I will be notifying the Performante Premium members on some of the alts that we are looking at within the market. But we will just take a look at Ethereum. We're not going to look over BNB, XRP, or Link, but we will look over Ethereum because this is the second largest coin within the cryptocurrency market. It's a very, very well-known project in this sector. All right, so first things first, we do have to consider this descending trend line that's connecting the lower highs. If we go on the weekly, really well respected overall. So we see anchor point here, first touch, second touch, and this is the third touch point for Ethereum paired with USDT. So we know that there's a lot of resistance here, right? But at the end of the day, resistances can get broken 100%. It doesn't mean that it's going to hold. It just means that there are sellers there that could hold the price, but theoretically, it could just blow right through. We don't really have an exact amount of sellers that are going to be in that zone. It's all just probabilities, basically. So what do we see right now? We were in a significant uptrend. We squeezed in a symmetrical triangle, and now we pushed above the resistance, breaking above the key level of supply, shooting the price up above the $250-ish range for one Ethereum, basically. And we see that there's a lot of hesitation at this resistance level, which makes sense initially because of the descending zone as well as the horizontal zone right at that 245 mark. So we do have to take that into consideration. If it's able to hold this ascending zone and push the price and continue to put pressure on the price at this zone, inevitably it'll break, right? If you're pushing and pushing and pushing, inevitably the resistance will break. But until then, we could be chopping around here. We could be moving down below like 210 to retest this zone here. We do see that there is a solid horizontal level of resistance, which is going to possibly turn into a new level of support if Bitcoin does fall a little bit more. But at this point, I don't really want to be entering Ethereum just because we have so much resistance near this area. To me, it just makes more sense to be looking at Bitcoin because it has a much, much more bullish chart in my view. But that's just obviously me personally considering Bitcoin being a better trade than Ethereum in the short term. So yeah, that's Ethereum. We're not really going to look at any of the alts. It'll be a bit of a shorter day today. I will be going over some questions if anyone has any, and I will be going over XRP, Link, and BNB for the premium people that are in the Discord. So I'll let them know about potential opportunities. I do see one, although this pullback definitely put a little bit of a damper on the potential opportunities that these alts have, but I'll get into that with the premium guys, and girls, I guess. So the last thing we're going to be looking at is the Bitcoin dominance, and then we're going to be done for the day, and then we'll do a Performante Premium altcoin update, and we'll also go over a bunch of different altcoins, even on the ones that we don't always look at, just to have a good understanding of where they are, where different altcoins are, to gauge where the alt market is pretty important. So this major zone, this ascending green support, is going to be a major zone that I want to see the price hold if we are looking to be more heavy Bitcoin, or if there's any sort of bearish sentiment in the market. Capital will flow to Bitcoin compared to altcoins. And if it's extremely bullish, capital will flow from Bitcoin to altcoins because there is more speculation in the market. People think that altcoins will do better because they tend to do better when there is bullish sentiment in the market. They're more volatile, and vice versa. If it's in a bear market, alts will drop a lot quicker compared to Bitcoin in a bear market. So we do have to consider that. So if this does move to the downside, like we saw in 2017, if we see anything similar where we're seeing massive drops in the dominance of Bitcoin, it means that the altcoins are really stepping up, taking charge, taking more of the market cap out of the entire cryptocurrency market, and we will be looking for altcoins to trade because they will appreciate more than Bitcoin. Now, we are traders, we do invest, but we also do trade in the cryptocurrency market in a lot of these smaller alts. So we will be looking for that, but as of right now, I don't have enough confidence that the altcoin market boom has started. I don't have enough confidence for that. What I will be looking for in order for that to sink in and for me to change my bias is if it breaks this level of ascending support. We see it break we see it hold, multiple times. We see a wedge right here, which broke out to the upside. We see another wedge right here, which broke out to the upside. We see a nice double bottom, retest right here. And now we're getting an expanding pattern like so. And we are holding the support 1, 2, 3. And if it does come like this, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin, but not bullish for the alts. So if it does go that way and hold this support and move towards the upside like so, we will be looking for a Bitcoin rally and will not be looking for these alts to appreciating greater than Bitcoin. But if we do fail, this resistance holds and we get a failure like this, that will be extremely bullish for alts. And we will want to be looking for altcoins to trade if this does come into fruition. So there's two options here, basically. Continuing this ascending trend line to the upside, where Bitcoin is taking more of the market cap. We want to be focused heavily on Bitcoin. Ethereum does move as well, but we're not going to be going into like the number like 24 coin market cap token or anything like that. That is, for me, only when we're getting this move, where in 2017, we saw a massive push from alts against Bitcoin and the total market cap dominance. And that's when we'll be focusing on alts. So in my personal opinion, it's still too early. We got to squeeze right here. We're looking for the market to make a decision. If it breaks to the upside, that means that we're going to be heavy Bitcoin, not going to be looking at alts yet. And if we break to the downside, we're going to be looking at alts pretty heavily. Bitcoin will be probably going up, but alts will be absolutely booming. So that's my view, basically, of the Bitcoin dominance chart. Let's finally finish it off with... Actually, we're going to keep that for the Performante Premium people, the total 2. So that's going to be the end of the cryptocurrency market update. We will be making another video going in greater detail for the alts, what we're looking at, as well as diving in different alts, not just Link, XRP, BNB, Ethereum, but looking at Monero, Neo, Stellar, different tokens that I normally don't look at. So keep in touch for the premium people. We will be doing that very shortly, right after this video. So we will see you there. We're now going to go to some questions. So I will close the recording for the crypto market update, but we will continue this live stream on TikTok and YouTube in case people have any questions about the market, about trading, investing, anything that they want a second opinion on. Just remember, this is not financial advice, and this is just an opinion from a random stranger. Thank you very much for watching. If you did find this useful, entertaining, educational, it would be great if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and give it a thumbs up. We would appreciate that greatly, is what I'm trying to say. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, have a good one.